Well, here's something from the Lost and Found, an interview with Rush Limbaugh. Today, Rush doesn't do a lot of television. I don't know why, he was really good at it. He is the dean of talk radio, began in the late 80s as far as the national audience was concerned. I remember listening to him very early on WLAC Nashville. Now he's infamous. He's famous. He's one of the most famous talk radio people in history, the guy who saved AM radio. Smart dude, man. I really like this guy. Whether you like him politically or not, you have to agree. He is a great broadcaster, and I'm sure that he would appreciate at least being acknowledged for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Rush Limbaugh.
It takes a lot of time and attention, so I don't spend too much time looking back, just enough to appreciate it.
I was watching some of the publicity tapes for your new TV show. And it really is amazing for a radio person. Radio people never get to see their audience unless they're doing a remote for a food store or something, you know. And you really see your audience, and that has to make you have a little different feeling towards your audience than most.
Well, I do a lot of personal appearances. I travel about 35 to 40 weekends a year doing a stage show, a personal appearance. Seeing the audience is a part of that. But I think what I try to do on the radio and try to translate to television is just be myself. And not really pay so much attention to the way it ought to be done, the way it always has been done. Radio show has busted a whole bunch of rules of thumb. It's busted a lot of convention, and the television show is going to do the same thing.
Everybody is talking about you, and you're very, very hot. Does it scare you a little bit that you're so hot that things that get that hot sometimes cool down a little bit?
No, people ask me this in one vein or another. Are you a fad? Is this going to peak anytime soon? Is it going to burn out? I think because of the nature of the program and how it's built and what the program is event-oriented. It's not guest-oriented or topic-driven or topic-driven. It's event-driven. It's always going to be current. It's always going to be spontaneous and unpredictable. And so it's never, I don't think it's going to have the features that are going to qualify it for burnout. The best answer I can give you is the radio show. I started, 1984, 8 years ago in Sacramento, California. It's hotter than it's ever been. I've now been out of Sacramento doing this show longer than I was living there. And I think that's the best evidence. 8 years, and it just continues to trend up. So no, I feel very confident. I think that's something about which I have a lot of control, which gives me some confidence about it.
I would easily say that you're very misunderstood. Do you find that generally?
Oh, gee, yeah, but sometimes that's good. I mean, I'm misunderstood in ways that would give critics and competitors the attitude, we don't need to take this guy seriously. He's just an extremist. He's just a racist. He's a sexist. He's a homophobe. He's a bigot. He's all of these things, which they think, which is untrue, but they think it, and they're not going to take me seriously. And so that's a position I kind of like being. The audience understands me, and that's the key. This program will be done, as the radio show is, for viewers. The idea of this show is to attract viewers, hold them for as long as we can so that we can charge confiscatory advertising rates. The same principle on the radio show. But it's not, I don't think that the misunderstanding among critics and other people in the business is going to be harmful at all.
You've had some real wackos not attack you physically, but I guess they would have if they could have. What is it you're doing that's touching such a nerve on the far left wing, I would probably think, in this country?
Well, there's a reality and a truth out there that can't be denied, and people may want to argue about it, but the media, the major media, the dominant national media in this country is populated with people who for the most part are liberal, which is fine, no quarrel with that, it's just a fact. And here comes this show, which is not. Here's a show which pays allegiance to many of the institutions and traditions which have made the country great, which the national media doesn't represent. I mean, you look at primetime television, books, newspapers, news, many things that a lot of Americans believe in are made fun of and ridiculed, and this show doesn't do that. So it's filled that void, and it's skewering many of these sacred cows that have been allowed to survive for the longest time. And I think that really is the short answer to your question.
As a member of the media, have you been burned by the media?
Meaning
misquoted? All
the time. I mean, I've gotten a lot of press, a lot of local press. Interestingly enough, the best press that I have gotten has been the national stuff. The New York Times Sunday Magazine did perhaps the definitive piece. The Los Angeles Times Sunday Magazine, tremendous piece. It's when I go out into local markets that some of the highfalutin local editorialists and so forth want to make their point and use me as the means by which to prove theirs, and some of it is gross misrepresentations and all that. But I mean, that's part of the territory, and I've developed a thick skin about it. It used to bother me. I want to be liked like everybody else and respected like everybody else wants to be, but I have discovered that people take this political stuff real seriously. Donahue, I get along with him fine. We have total disagreements. He's a nice guy. But there are a lot of liberals who will refuse to be seen or associate with me because they think it somehow damaged their credibility. The usual question I get, thank you for not doing it, is, all right, who are you to breathe? Who are you to be alive with what you believe and so forth? That generally constitutes the opening salvo, the people you're talking about. But I've developed a way to deal with them now.
So you're picking up on Mr. Reagan's silent majority, you think, a little bit?
Well, see, I think this country has always had a great percentage of conservative people. And I think that, we'll go back to the national media thing. The reason why they're a silent majority is because things they believe in are made fun of. And it takes a leader to make them confident and bring them out. And Reagan did that. I think they've always been there. I think if you look at what some of the Democratic candidates for president are talking about doing, tax cuts. Gee, when was the last time you ever heard a Democrat suggest that? That's a conservative principle. In New Jersey today, they just signed into law, a Democratic governor just signed into law a bill which caps the number of kids welfare recipient mothers can get. The National Organization for Women's all upset, but it was a black Democrat who did this. I think it's a recognition that kind of thinking, and the middle class is tired of bearing this burden. They're conservative people, and Democrats are starting to, in some cases, appeal to them better than President Bush is. I think that the country has always had a large percentage of conservative people that have just not been catered to by the media for the most part.
You mostly stick, you get on every subject, but political commentary is kind of your thing. Is that your hot button?
Yeah, well, that's my passion. What I do, I think, is combine two approaches. There is irreverence, not just a sense of humor, but irreverence, and a serious discussion of issues in the same show. And this is not a criticism, again, it's just an observation. I don't know of another show where that happens. If Ted Koppel, for example, ever tried to get funny, I don't know how it would be accepted. The audience isn't tuned in for that. And if Leno or Letterman ever really got serious about what they believe, I think, oh, wait, I'm uncomfortable. This show does both, and the television show will do both. And I think that, again, is going to set it apart.
We're all big kids in broadcasting anyway, if we're honest about it, because we still get thrilled when we know someone's watching us or seeing us. Who has thrilled you that I found out, Henry Mancini, by the way, listens to you all the time. It came out in an interview that we were talking about. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Because I found out, I've been interviewing musicians a lot lately, and they're all listening to talk radio because they're burned out on music. Henry Mancini, Huey Lewis, all these kind of people. Who have you found out that listens to you that's just thrilled you?
Well, Reagan. Some sports people. I'm a big sports nut. These are tough questions. I was saying, who's the most beautiful Hollywood actress? I mean, I know, but now I'm going into I'm freezing trying to think of who.
Reagan's a pretty big hit. It's nice to know he's listening.
Yeah, but there have been so many that have. Some of them I've met too, and you're right. It is a big thrill. You know, especially for me. All my life I've done local talk. You sit in a local market. You have a little studio and so forth, and you may become a big fish in a little market or you may not. Going national, the surroundings don't change. I mean, your environment is still the same. It's a little studio, the microphone, but all of a sudden, 50 states, Guam and Puerto Rico are listening. And I have not conceived that in my mind. I don't picture that, and I haven't changed my approach. And so there's a lot of it that's flattering and surprising when I hear all these people that listen and enjoy it. That's the key when they say they enjoy it too.
Did it make you mad initially? And we'll use this name in the question. It won't come out in the interview. I mean, Larry King. Your fans would call. I call them fans as opposed to listeners because I think they are. They called the Larry King show. What about Rush Limbaugh? I don't even know who he is. I mean, you kind of sneaked up on people, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, I've never been a networker, and I've never been one to read the trades and correspond with the movers and shakers in the trades. Especially since I got back into the business the second time. I quit after 12 years, after thinking I'd failed at it, and went into sports marketing for the Kansas City Royals and got back into it. And my attitude about it the second time in has been totally different than the first 12 years I was in it. And I did sneak up. Who is this guy? Never heard of this guy. I never used my real name in radio the first 12 years. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, that stuff used to bother me. I mean, I'm like anybody else. I'm no different. I'm a human being. And in my business, with my peers, everybody would love to be respected and liked. And so we're all in this together. But it isn't going to happen for, human characteristics, jealousy, envy, what have you. And so, all that stuff has just served to give me a thick skin.